I guess you're wondering by now, why is the sound low? That's because this is a commentary. Bet you never see that on this particular channel. My name is Master Zed. This is a .hack GU Volume 3 Redemption low-level speedrun, I guess you could call it. It's not a serious project. I'm actually using this just to study Redemption, so I can do an actual new game speedrun for Speed Demos Archive, which is speeddemosarchive.com if you've never been there. I can watch those speedruns for hours. Some of them are just plain beautiful. Including that one on .hack Part 1, Infection. Yeah, Infection. That one is sweet. Oh wait, that was mine. Ah, dang it. Yay, music! Now, before anyone asks, the reason Skate is orange is because I was messing with the color scheme. You can actually do that in the accessories. Just look around for it. You really can't miss it. It's got like RGB knobs as one of the icons.
Let's hit.
Now, there are some major differences between what you're going to see here and what you're going to see in a new game speedrun. The first, probably the most prevalent difference, is the fact that I use counters aggressively. Now, what I mean by counters, I mean 2-slot and 3-slot elemental counters. Those little damage counters that always get you when you're trying to strike an Ignis tail, or on those stupid lava dodos. You get like 2,000 damage back because you used Devolve Invite on it, and it didn't really like you. Anyway, what the 2-slot and 3-slot counters do is that they return damage at a fraction. They don't strike for damage, they strike for a fraction of whatever the enemy did. 2-slot counters deliver back 1/4 damage. 3 slots do half damage. So if an enemy strikes you for 50 damage, a 2-slot will throw back like 12 because of rounding. The game always rounds down because the PlayStation 2 always rounds down. And a 3-slot would deliver 25. Now, that might not seem like much, but you have to understand that since this is a low-level speedrun, even the first boss is going to nail me for like 3,000 damage on regular hit. So I'm returning like 1,500 damage back in his face if the counter actually activates. Though I was doing there, preparing was everything I couldn't do in Reminisce was gather speed charms, which helped the whole party size just a little bit. Really, I'm just grabbing them because I didn't feel like gathering the speed talisman in the previous one. I'm gathering Wonder Soda just to keep item space low. 210 engine for shot stun. I'm going to apply that right now. And then I grabbed the Tomorrow Leaf because I was really just looking for a pretty color on the 3-slot counter. It doesn't really matter which one of those you grab because I've never seen a single enemy that actually had particular elemental defense. Never have. I don't know why. I mean, you saw elemental tolerance all over the previous series, but never see it here. And it could easily be done with 2 elemental attachments. Anyway, that's one of the main differences. The other main difference, you're going to see it here, which is the reason I have Hit in the Dark on my bike.
Are any of the other...
is because I don't have a 3-slot accessory. I'm not going to have it for a long time. I'll tell you right now. At this point, I am actually past Fidel, and I am just uploading this particular segment and doing the commentary on it. But I'm only level 87. And the first 3-slot accessory is 90. So it might be... I might reach Kubia by the time I actually can equip one. That means the skill boost, which is like one of my favorite attachments, because double damage for double SP is a godsend. There's no other way to put it. The double SP cause is like nothing. And then there's you don't have any cat whiskers, which means you have to constantly use smoke screen to bypass all the enemies in dungeons. And you need Hit in the Dark on field trials. I also can't use Zen Mastery, but I can't remember why I needed that for. Anyway, the low level also means, and I kept forgetting this in previous stages, why this is like the fourth time I tried to do commentary on this segment. The reason this gets more difficult is because at a low level, whenever your level is more than 4 below your enemies, your weapon attachments don't work without Beast Awakening. And that is a major problem, because if you need SP Drain, like in the preliminary round of the Sage Palace, for example, you need SP Drain just to keep it up, if you do. I use Heinz Shadow there. I'm spoil that right now because I didn't feel good about that, but I use it there, and I can only use it against the 2 leaders because they're 4 levels, well, the first 2 leaders, because they're 4 levels above me, just enough to where I can actually use all my attachments against them without a Beast Awakening. And that helps keep my SP up. But you can't do that against the 3rd leader, the 4th leader, or any of the flunkies, because all of the flunkies are like level 97. They are the real problem in that particular round. That's one problem. The other problem is that when you have an enemy that's vulnerable to the infights like the 3rd and 4th leaders to that particular round, but you can't use it against them until Beast Awakening, you need to survive until you have enough morale. Yeah, sometimes I get my tongue tied. And it happens. What I'm doing here is just cleaning out inventory. I should have done this before I even started, but I don't know. Yes, put them in inventory, you dumb. Now that might seem like a mistake, throwing away the 3 revive potion, but honestly, I need the item space, and hit points are not going to be much of a concern. Except until I get Antares after the tournament round involving him. And that was a nice surprise. I think I won't say why, I'll just leave that for when I upload that particular segment. After this is just going to be a bunch of cutscenes. Right up until the end. Let's not go back to the weapons. I covered the reason why I'm using counter armor. I may have forgotten to mention that everyone on the team, except Arcade and Antares, has counter water. Specifically because of what I mentioned before, but Antares has counter fire. I didn't realize it when I gave him the whirlpool leaf, but whatever. I mentioned the I think I mentioned the accessory deficiency on slots. Now, I also tried to avoid indulgence as long as I could, but I will admit you will see that at some point in the run. The next segment's going to have 2 bike races, but they don't get indulgence. I think it's courses 9 and 10 that get kept up. You're going to see the bike glitch in full force there. But eventually I do need to do course 7 for indulgence because, without spoiling anything, things are going to get rough later on in this run. Very, very rough. But I do try to avoid it when I can. I think that's about all the relevant info. Unfortunately, I still have like 2 minutes. Oh well, we can make fun of the game's flub now, can't we? Like that guild menu. Haven't needed that since Reminisce. Why is it still there? Now we see Sakaki, blah blah blah, then he freezes our game and we have to reset. No, I'm kidding. But that glitch is very real. If you've never encountered it, then, well, you're either lucky or you're well informed. Basically, one of the cutscenes freezes the game somewhere in this point. The screen goes white. Well, it always goes completely white for like a split second, even if it doesn't freeze, but once it goes all white, if it stays there, frozen. Reset. Angers you. I don't even know how that made it past the testers. Now the final task here is just I'm warping back to Brega, but just because I can be lazy in segment 2 as a result. Now we get to check Syllabus's email, Haseo makes a stupid comment, and that's the end of the segment. They covered all the challenges. Yeah. Well, that's about it. Now, since this is a test segment, I would like to hear your comments on the channel. See what I can improve, what I should keep, whatever. There's no ratings because I'd rather hear your comments first time. Until then, take care.